I've been thinking about what gives substance to art. Um, what I mean by that is how do we measure what art is good or what art is valuable or what art is worthwhile? And that's a big question. It's a really difficult one. But I think as time goes on with me as an artist, as a painter, uh, I'm more and more inclined to believe that it's about duration and time. What I mean by that is uh, the obsessive behavior of an artist is tested over the years. We begin to make art when we're younger. We maybe go to university or art college, and we come out with ideas in our head about what art is and what we want to be as an artist, and perhaps famous or whatever it is. And we go through phases in our lives. So we have that post art college period where we're putting a lot of energy in and finding our feet and so on. And then life changes, real life, if you want to call it that, changes. People go on and do other things. Maybe they meet a partner, or they get married, or they have other, maybe they have children. Uh, Life expands, if you like, at that point, and therefore the activity of being a painter, being an artist, has to find a place in a bigger and then sometimes ever increasing life, if you like. Uh, so that becomes a little bit harder, and so at that point it can become diluted simply because it's shared with so many other things. Whereas perhaps earlier in your life, when you've no commitments, it could be the one and only thing, if you want it to be, in your life. Uh, so that's a test. That's a test of how do you sustain that. And later on, there are other issues that come along, like how can you sustain the visibility of your art? How can you keep getting a show or people to see your work and talk about your work or think about your work or maybe even buy your work or whatever? Because as you move through life, uh, like anything, there are other people doing the same sorts of things as you are, whether you like to believe it or not. That is the truth. We are not absolutely, uh, uh, on our own in that respect. Uh, and so, as time goes on, each level, each layer of life changes us as an artist, gives us new challenges. And unfortunately, I suppose the only way you can't speed that up. You can't fast forward it and say let's do all that and see how we get on, and then we can get back to being an artist. Unfortunately, those things have to happen in the time that is meant to be. So as I sit here now, I am 64 now. Uh, I have seen many of these things and done many of these things. And I wish I could sort of jump back and say, right, I've got this experience. I'd like to go back to being 24 and let's, have that in my head and all ready to go. Can't do that. And that's really what it's about. And so the test, I suppose, of being an artist, uh, to me now is more about uh, the duration and the determination, obsession, if you like, that I'm as obsessed now as I was, actually probably more obsessed about what I do now as an artist as I was when I was 24, when I was at university. I I think I was driven by other things then. So that I feel as if I've gone through the tests of fire through the life, and I hope I have more tests. I really do, but uh, that gives me some comfort because sometimes we do get discouraged as an artist. We run out of steam. You know, uh, you know, what am I trying to say? Why am I trying to say this? All these questions come in our heads. But I think the comfort is when you remind yourself you have gone through and survived these tests, and you're still standing, you're still making art, you're still excited about the brush in the hand and the paint and the canvas, and it's a buzz. That is nearly what we should be looking for. I suppose those artists, younger artists who might be watching this, and you know, I hope will take encouragement from that. But unfortunately, we can't fast forward it for you. Uh, you're gonna go through this, but if you sustain it, you will get that buzz and you will get that excitement. Whether you get fame and fortune is another matter. And there's a very, very, very good chance you won't. I might as well tell you that now. But ask yourself, why am I making art? Why am I doing this? What what's my purpose? Is it to be famous? If that's what it is, then it won't last long, I don't think. Uh, is it to make money? Same thing. It's you definitely won't last long that way. Is it something about my soul or my my passion, my inner being that I need to say something to the world before I die? Then you probably will continue doing that and under any circumstances.